Hi, I'm Chris Burns from Techie Gurus and welcome to the channel. So normally I talk about cybersecurity, and I will a little bit today, but what I really want to cover is what happened last week. So Friday, my wife and I are sitting on the couch watching TV. It's like 8 o'clock Friday night, and she gets hit up by one of the people that she knows, and they had a speaker bow out of a conference that was supposed to be Tuesday, so a couple days ago, and they're like, well, would you do a presentation? I'm like, okay, so when do I have to have this by? We have to have you turn it in by the end of the day tomorrow, so on Saturday. So I had nothing prepared. I'm like, you know what? Sure, I'll do it. So I kind of thought about it all day. I worked on a presentation I'd done before, and Saturday night I shot an intro, I delivered it. So Tuesday comes along, I log into the platform, it's all remote. It's for the 2021 Bakersfield Women's Business Conference. And I talked about cybersecurity, talked about like what it is, how it works, things that they should do. I posted a couple questions in there. One about, do they have an incident response plan for their business? And the other one is, do you use multi-factor authentication? So it was funny seeing the results because I had some funny responses, and I might show those in the future, but for right now I'll leave that alone. So I'm in there. 60 people ended up attending. It was awesome. I was in chat the entire time. We ended up with 5 extra questions as well that I had to answer. But one thing that came up kind of threw me, and it's something that I've thought about but I've never really talked about, and that's, they asked, well, isn't my IT company doing cybersecurity? And you sit back and you think, and you're like, well, you know what? No, they're not. And it's something that we've done in the past. The last couple of years have drastically changed the market, changed the way that we have to think. Attacks are at an all-time high. Change is happening at a pace that nobody's seen before. We had COVID. We're still in the middle of the pandemic. Whatever the opinions are on that, but we're still here. Like, people are still working remote. Obviously being in Michigan, it's a little bit worse here from the standpoint that we're still dealing with a lot of fallout. And people are still working from home. But the thing is, no, most IT companies don't cover security. Sure, they might install antivirus, they might install firewall, but at the end of the day, that's just a technical control that gets put into business that's easily bypassed by a hacker or anything like that. What you need is a company that's security focused. Now, it's a managed security service provider. We're typically considered an MSP, for an IT provider. It'd be a managed service provider. Really, at the end of the day, it comes down to this. MSPs are focused on IT management, making sure that things are running smoothly. MSSPs are more focused on security. Now, we're in a different breed. We're actually a mixture in between, a hybrid between MSP and MSSP. So there's no acronym for this yet. It's something that's kind of emerging, but that's where we've taken the business the last couple of years. That's what we've transitioned to. So we can have an intelligent conversation about looking at your assets in your business, but also say, hey, you know what? We can help you manage this. We can help you maintain this, implement new things, run projects and whatnot, but we can also help you secure it as well. So prime example, if you're an MSP, you're going to install antivirus, you install firewall, you're maybe going to do backup. Great. Everybody needs that. However, you dig a little deeper, it's like, well, what about business continuity? What happens if this server goes down? And a lot of people will say, hey, great, I have a device for that. Okay, cool. Have you tested it? Does it come back up? Does it work? If you look at the business, so if you recover this in the cloud, can you still operate? And the answer a lot of times is no. So yeah, it's great. You can bring my server up in the cloud, but can I actually do the work? And if the answer is no, then that's a problem. So there's a lot deeper conversation. Let's talk about assets, right? Have you classified your assets? Have you looked at your assets from a risk perspective and said, okay, which ones are the riskiest ones, and which ones should we provide the most security for? What about users, right? Who are your riskiest users? Looking at user behavior and doing analytics on that is critically important. But an MSP is not going to do that. We didn't do that. We've just begun doing that in the last couple of years. So it's something that there's a bridge there that you have to go through, and a lot of times companies that have an MSP may want to have an MSSP as well. Now, you also have to take cost into consideration. Having both is going to cost you more money, but it's also going to have separation of duty. We're fortunate in that we also have a third party that looks after us, so we kind of go from the approach of we live what we talk about, we live what we breathe, and we always are going to have a third party looking after our stuff, even though we're fully versed in security. We want to make sure that our business is being looked at by a third party so we can look after your business. Because I don't want to take away from helping our customers, helping people that out there by focusing on our stuff internally. When I can use a third party for that, and they also bring validation to us as well. So I just wanted to share that. It was a great week. It was a great conference. I probably need to log in and check to see if there's any more questions asked, because actually this goes on the entire week. But think about that. If you have an IT provider, are they doing true security? And if they're not talking about the risk to your business, risk management, assets, risky behavior by users, and they don't have the visibility in there, it's something that you can come talk to us about. Look, I'll do a consultation. I'll talk to you for 15 minutes. I'll post my, actually, no, I won't. Reach out to us, and we can send you a link to schedule an appointment with me, and we can have a 15-minute conversation. We can talk about whatever you want. So until next week, have a good week, and be safe.